All right. How's everyone? My camera a little low? I feel like it is somehow. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just slouch a little. All right. Interesting. Interesting. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? So, I did not get ready to do the Twitch chat with Rust. I haven't figured out the user stuff. I didn't have the time. I was actually pretty busy this last week. We got home kind of late Monday, and I've been no, kind of late Sunday, and I've been playing catch up. So I'm behind. So today, all I have to do is some kpack stuff in Go, because I didn't get any of the other stuff ready to work on. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to do some kpack and see if we can't get it working. All right, so I think, let's see. I think we're going to need, so with using kpack instead of our own builder here, we're actually going to need to pass in a Kubernetes client. So let's switch over here, and let's do that up here. All right, so I guess we'll do this right here. Is this how we do this? Is this how we do this? Let's see. Yeah, this. I think this is what we'll do. This is a separate code base, so we'll oops, we'll just delete that for right now. Can I not? I thought I could. Oh, I think I deleted something. There we go. Good afternoon, Russell. How are you doing? How are you doing? It is some very weird looking rust. This is some of the most advanced rust you're going to see. And in fact, I would tell most people to stay away from writing this advanced of rust. That's probably my my recommendation is there's no need to ever get this advanced. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. How are we setting up the log? Actually, we're using 0log here, and I kind of think I like Zap better. That's the one we used in the API. So we kind of were using both. Oh no, did you just resub with Prime? I haven't gotten a notification that you did it at all. Like, even in the Twitch. I didn't get anything. No, I wasn't doubting you. I'm just saying, oh, until you did that, Twitch didn't tell me at all. Until you did the here's the proof. Nothing came through on Twitch. Let's check our logs. Well, that's kind of lame. Well, that's no good. But yeah, so until you shout about it, I didn't see anything in Twitch. But our container is down. 1 second. Let's go to nodes. That one is down again. This is the one that we've had problems with being down. So we need to change this from a deployment to from a stateful set to a deployment. And I need to pull this motherboard out and figure out what's going on with it. It runs for a while and then it just shuts down. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing it's some sort of hardware failure. I mean, I got used boards for dirt cheap. I'm guessing it's some sort of hardware issue, but because there's nothing else running on it other than the Kubernetes, and I can't imagine Kubernetes shutting it down. You know what I might do is I might swap the power supplies out. You know, see if it's a power supply issue. Yeah. Shoot. Well, I'm sorry about that. I need to change that over to deployment anyways, because it doesn't need to be a stateful set. It just needs to have one that's a deployment. How we have it set up. Anyways. Yeah, so I was actually thinking, like, that's a good point, Russell. Like, is it something with the container that I have? But I'm not running a privileged container, so I don't even think that my container should be able um to crash it. But yeah, something like that would be pretty good. What I need to do is I can actually pull it out from there and plug it in out here, which would be easier for me to like restart it when right now the problem is it's in the closet that I can't go in because my cat will go in there and get in the ceiling. Um, and so I need to pull it out here so that I can like restart it while we're messing around with it. Oh, let's see. I was looking for this. Do you think AWS has issues too? I mean, with like flaky hardware, yeah. I mean, I think that's like one of the leaky abstractions is that hardware is going to fail. They actually do really good at handling it though. Like they have a lot of stuff that allows you to. Okay, that's a little loud. Can you turn that down there a little bit? Oh, you meant the cat. I don't know about that. I don't know about the cat, but it's a pain. He literally runs in there, jumps up on the hot water heater, and then it's gone in the ceiling. Um, the absolute worst. But yeah, I was gonna say they do some really good things to handle the failed hardware. They have stuff where like they just migrate your workload without you even knowing that they migrated your workload. So they have some hardware that's being flaky. Also, this piece of garbage in there isn't restarting for some reason. The other ones restart on power failure. So I'm not sure why it's not doing that, but they have a tiger in the roof. No. I mean, it's AWS. It's microservices. It's a bunch of little cats, like maybe even smaller cats than what I have. You know, I have a 20-pound cat. He's pretty big, and actually, I think he's 18. He's been losing a little bit of weight. He was getting a little heavy. But maybe they have just a bunch of kittens. Like they just have a mass of kittens up there. All right. So let's see. Okay, we can delete this. uh, the thing that stinks about like I'm actually trying, I think, to not use the term microservice anymore. I actually like I think it's too confusing and is too vague. From that, like um yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So like with that, like with what they were doing, the problem comes is that like they were doing a stateful set, or they were doing a stateful application. Video encoding is by definition stateful. And the whole pipeline is stateful. And I think when talking about microservices, it's not genuine. Like, so this is another thing that I've come to realize is it's not even really genuine to talk about microservices in a stateful application. Like that's just, I know it's not part of the definition, and I would argue that still, but you never go and look at a database and say, oh, that's a microservice database. Like it's a stateful application. I don't know. And the fact is, like, what I think is really important for AWS especially is their service architecture, and they completely kept a service architecture. So I don't know. It's just a really good example of how you need to alter your design based on the data and processing requirements of the workload. Absolutely. That Russell, I think, is like the key. I liked the article, even though the article was a little light on actual detail. But the article was basically like, understand your workflow, understand the flow of your data and what you're trying to accomplish. And, not every architecture is a one shoe fits all. I think it's fantastic in that regard. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Engineering to fit the work. You have some requirements. What are those requirements? Why are they requirements? And how are you meeting those requirements? And you started out with something that worked, and then you found out that it didn't scale for one reason or another. You'll never know the. I love this is like a lot of people think like even after writing several applications that have scaled to a decent amount, I don't think you ever are going to know all the different ways your application won't scale, because generally I'm doing something new. And so there's always going to be something that it's like, oh, I didn't realize step functions had a hard limit. I didn't know that. If you had asked me, I would have probably foolishly assumed that there was no hard upper limit of the number of step transitions an account could do. Doesn't make sense to me why there would be one. But like that doesn't just apply to the step ones. It's yeah. Yep, even with our first attempt, make something, monitor it, redesign if required. Absolutely. I mean, and that's that's what we're doing right now. We built something, and we're redesigning it because kpack didn't work. Like it didn't work with how we wanted to do it. It's pretty much straight a single use, single shot thing at this point. And so we're redesigning it. I probably could have caught this one. Why does it say Go client rest cannot be found? Did we get that on this side here? Let's actually throw this in here though. We'll throw this cluster config in here. Delete the Klog. That's gross. We better not have imported Klog, did we? I will burn that with fire. Cool. So, and that was kind of my hope and goal and intent was. All right, so if you see this is Go dependencies. I thought I did open it in the container builder. Okay. Go pools is I don't know. I'm getting kind of annoyed with go pools. I'm not gonna lie. I have not loved it. All right, is this actually working now though? Oh, we have a new logger, but we're not actually passing the sugared logger in. Let's update it. Which one are you using for Go, if not Go pools? We're just going to do this, delete this. I hate L. Let's see. This is the sugared logger. I'm just going to do it long ways. Sugar. X-ray goat neovim. Okay. Let me check that out. I'll put it on my list of things to check out. GoPools is what's giving us so much trouble with a multi-project repository. Basically, I can't open, I can't open Vim from here because GoPools will just fall on its face from there. I mean, I can open it from here and just like look at stuff, but I mean, like I won't get good support. Oh, now if it configures it for you where like it's saying, oh, well, look at this path, that might actually work, like this directory. That might actually work. Let's see. These are going to have to change. Actually, we don't need a database anymore, right? Because this is all in kpack. I think we can just delete this. Q. Registry not. Oh, this is a bigger update than I was thinking. We got to remove this database from everything because now it uses kpack, which kpack will use the Kubernetes API server, which means instead of a... You know, I'm not going to remove this. Should I remove this database from everything? I was going to say we might actually want to keep information outside of... I want to say no. We don't want to keep information outside of... Yeah. Outside of what's stored in Kubernetes. Not at first, at least, because you then have to keep it synchronized. I'll probably, go add that back in a second. As I realize I need it for something. Did I not remove? No, I didn't. All right, so let's see. Oh, we got a sugar logger this. I think we can actually just do... No, we can't. I was thinking, can we do this? Can we? No, we can't. All right, we'll just... it was an error. Hey, bud. It's time to set it down and go upstairs. Okay? You can rest a little on your bed. All right. So the message will be unable to create... Wait, image builder. What is the image builder even doing anymore? So, originally this was the thing, but we got to do kpack. Do we need any of this? I don't actually think we need any of this. Let's just stop creating this thing. At all. Because now all we are doing is basically everything we were doing is happening in kpack. And I don't know that we need this. Okay. This should be a lot simpler when we're done with it. Wait. Yeah, I just wanted right. Not quit. I almost did it. I've gotten better about not hitting both. All right, undefined L. Yes. Let's put in the sugared logger here. And then these two things go away. So we just have our cluster config and our sugared logger. Nice. Okay. And is kpack a replacement for buildpack or just a Kubernetes extension for it? So kpack is it doesn't use the same thing. So pack uses buildpack. It's a buildpack thing, but it's not the same thing. So pack uses Docker, whereas kpack doesn't. It builds it all in containers without privileged containers. So it's completely different from an implementation standpoint, in theory, both of them you give build packs to, and they build a repository. So I didn't know kpack existed. This was the right way to go from the very beginning. I missed it though. I didn't realize it was a thing. Since we're already leveraging Kubernetes, there was no reason not to do it. There's reasons not to use kpack, especially if you don't use Kubernetes. It's integrated straight into Kubernetes. But since we are, there's no reason not to just leverage it. Oh. Well, at least you learned something. There's worse streams of mine, I'm sure. All right. In that case, we don't need the image builder. And this is no longer 0log. This is our sugared logger. What type is the sugared logger? I believe it has a type. Yeah, sugared logger. Okay, well, I mean, that's Wait. How do I go back a word? W is forward a word. Is it E? No. B, of course. Oh, no, did I? Okay. There we go. Thank you. B for back. I got it, of course. That makes sense. Okay. I don't know what I was doing here. Do not know. All right. So yeah, this is kpack. Let's see. I don't know what I have open up here. Yeah, this is kpack, and it's pretty cool. It does like a lot of the things that I want to be able to do, and you basically give it a tag, or you don't give it a tag and let it tag it, which I think is the way we'll do it, and a repo, git repo, and it builds a container for you. Oh yeah, can you post a link to that video? I would love to watch it too. I mean, I have like NE, like space NE, which is next error. I don't know that it helps me remember it. Like, I'm not saying that key combo makes sense as far as like doing something quick, but next error is pretty easy, and that's like to search for files. I don't know. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Actually, I don't even know if we need this log. Okay, so we have our kube config. We have a Rust client. Hopefully that's all we need. And we have our log. And then we basically have this create container, which I think, honestly, I'm just going to delete all this. Actually. Because this is basically us creating a container from a repo, downloading the repo and whatnot. Yeah, I think we're just going to delete all of these. And basically, this is our contract. I'm going to try to do it without changing our contract, like without changing our proto buffers. I think we can just delete this. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, please do post it in the Discord. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Russell. All right. Let's start with the good old log. Info. Now, this is not what you do if you're using Datadog. You don't start with a log. You use logs spare. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. We really should be like passing a cardinality with this, but did I say cardinality? Correlation ID. And logging the correlation ID here. My goodness, cardinality. My goodness. But we don't have either of those. We don't have either. Actually, we could watch that all go over a config. I've had a long week. So last weekend, I took all the kids and we went to 2 cities over, and we had a lot of fun hiking through the park, but it was long. And then this weekend, my wife is gone. So I'm watching the kids 2 whole weekends all by myself. I don't know which is worse for myself or the kids. But you know, we survive. We'll survive. We need to return a container. This thing. What is this thing, though? I don't remember what this is. The weather was beautiful last weekend. So we went to the IMAS Park. Yeah, and the J is a Y. The J is a Y. J's are very confusing because they can literally be anything. It's like IMAS. Anyways, it's pretty cool. We went there, went hiking, tried to take pictures of some wildlife. The best picture we got was of dragonflies, which was pretty awesome. So yeah. We didn't get any cool pictures of owls like this. Yes, it is very good. So that's what we did last weekend. I've been slightly perpetually behind this whole week because of that, but it was good. I actually want to do more of it. I haven't done it as much as I have meant to. So yeah. So we return this. Just take the picture and add it to the album. Oh yeah, remember that awesome owl picture we got? That was amazing. Once in a lifetime. So we have this build ID that we're returning. That's like basically the only thing that gets returned from this. And I'm wondering if we need that at all at this point, because if you look at kpack, so basically what we wanted to be able to do is you return a build ID, and then later on you can query with that build ID. So this build status just has a build ID, and it gives you the status on that build. Yeah, this. But how are we going to do that now? So basically, this is the thing that we make, this image. I guess it could be this tag. It could be this tag. So, you know, like, I guess maybe just the revision, like because the tag is, the container's tag is going to be the short revision, the short SHA. So maybe we just throw the short SHA as the build ID. But then we're going to have to be able to search for these images with the short SHA. I don't know if the Kubernetes API is very good at that. We can put it in as a label. That's what we'll do. We'll put a label with the short SHA. I'm not convinced this is... Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, that instruction says... is a valid image tag that exists in the registry you configured. Right. So this is like, you know, null channel / Eddington. But the tag, so this is more than just the tag, because generally what I consider the tag is what comes after the semicolon, or the you know, like the colon. That's the tag. This is actually the name. Is it auto tagging it? Now that I understand what they're saying by tag here. And the version is the short SHA. That's what I was going with. I won't click it. That's amazing. Yes. I probably need both labels. Let me like write this out in let me actually, one second. Let me copy this and let me go up one. Let's see. That is to create a new file. Uh, wait. How do I get the help? How do I get the help? I forget. I need the help for this. There's a way to get the help for this. Hi, Nighthound. How are you doing? No. I meant like I don't mean the help. But I want the commands that I can use for this for the file browser right now. It was. You need something, Malik? Probably not right now. Yeah. See. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do for which key. I don't know how to open. We had a key combo for which key, but I don't remember it. Yeah, I know. Oh, I think it's /. Control /. I actually was doing Control C, which is probably my bad. A little bit of a brain fart. A little bit of a brain fart. A little bit of one. It was /. Okay, this is what I was looking for. It was Alt C. So it was C. Oh my gosh. Alt C. All right, so we were just going to do, what was this? Kpack image. All right, so what I was thinking that we would do, thank you, Russell. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is, you know, I haven't looked at the Docker docs. I've worked with a lot of people and a lot of containers, and like that, the tag is not this. This is not the tag. That's not what people call the tag. That's the image name. And the tag is the thing that comes after the colon. So I guess I was thrown off with that. So it was a good call that you called it out, though. Very good call out. I am wondering what they tag it with. So, like, how do I define how it gets tagged? So I have a few more questions at this point, but yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. So what I was thinking of doing for the case here, where we need to get the build status, is adding in some labels like rev, which, you know, in this case would be like what, 3BE2. How many are in a short SHA? 8, 9, 6. I think there's 6 in a short shaw. 8? There's 8 in a short shaw? I think there's 8 in a short shaw. I don't know how many's in a short shaw. How many in short shaw? That was not... Should not have Googled that. You know what's actually easier is just to go to GitHub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I missed it. I went 6 and 8. 6 and 8, and it was 7. 6 and 8. All right. So how many do I have here? I have 1, 2, 3. All right. I have 1 too many here. There we go. But in theory, the people would probably want a version of their application, like a human legible one that they might want to also add. So we might want to actually add something like a... I know. I know. I convinced myself like, oh, well, it would be 8 because like that's just when I said 6, I was like, oh, wait, no, it wouldn't be 6. It would be 8. It would be it's 7. It's 7. Well, now you all know. Now you all know. Short shaws are 7. Don't be an idiot like me. All right. And then this is going to be something like null channel slash slash their app name. Right? I think that's right. Yeah, I went with a guess. I went with a guess. It was wrong. It was wrong. I tried. So this is just the builder, which is fine. And then this is the Git. Like this stuff is all standard and stuff we're already ready for. This is how we're going to be able to find it. So I think what we do here for their, let's see, for this is we're just going to add some labels. So, I don't know how this right here has like this source of Git, and I don't know if it allows me to go off of like a tag or a branch or whatnot. So that's some investigation that I need to do because basically if I can do it off of I'll expose whatever. Now the thing is, if this is all they expose, we can still give them the ability to do a branch because what will happen is I'll just go get the SHA, like the short SHA from it for the revision. It allows you to use a branch. I think it defaults to main. Okay, cool. So yeah, my thought would be like, there's another thing. Maybe it's called bump build API. So there's another thing that's interesting that basically allows you to not basically allows you, I believe, to watch a branch, and it builds a new image whenever it's been built. But I haven't played around too much with it. I'm just in the workings with it. Right, Monta. Yeah, I'm not super worried about that. How are you doing, Monta? All right, so let me. Should we? Let's just kind of implement this, but we could kind of play around with a CLI. I was going to actually use the CLI, which actually Nighthound did some work playing around with the CLI, and he has a little bit of it written up. So I was going to maybe use some of that or look at that. Let's go back to the tutorial here. So this is stuff we're going to have to codify for Tilt to set up. Basically, you're going to need to log in to a Docker registry. For right now, I'm using Docker Hub. We'll move this to a cloud-based. I think we'll need a private registry. And I'm not going to stand up my own registry at this point. We'll need a private registry. Monte, you were on vacation. Please, you were on vacation. I hope you had a fantastic. Did you have a fantastic vacation? Did you play some games? Starfield. There's another game, Lies of P. That's another one that I've been looking at, maybe trying to play. I haven't had the time to play them, but hopefully you did. Awesome. That's what matters. That is what matters. Okay. Let's look at this again. I think this is really just setting up your cluster. We can actually do all of this just manually first. Let's actually start building out a cluster. Oh, did they really have to make it harder or easier? That's a shame. I actually, I generally set games on the hardest they are, and then it takes me forever to beat them because I really like, I play games to be challenged. Not always. Sometimes I play them for the story. If I'm in it for the story, then that's great. But like if you're talking about like a Dark Souls game, I play it for the challenge, not the story really. And so then I just play it on as hard as it is, and it usually sucks, and it usually takes me a little while to do it. All right, we're going to start with a fresh cluster. And we're just going to manually set up. Maybe we'll manually set up and actually just apply the file that we did. See if we can't make a cluster. Make a container image. I do like Dark Souls. Dark Souls was fun. I haven't played Lies of P or I want to say Elder Ring, but if not Elder Ring, Elden Ring. Those two are on my list of things to play. I haven't had a ton of time in the evenings, and they're also not child friendly. So sometimes I play, but recently it's been with my children, so I haven't played either. All right, while that's going, we're going to actually get out of this. And we're going to go to... I guess we could have stayed in there, couldn't we have? Because this was just in... Oh, well. Oh, well. We could have stayed there. Let's see. We need null channel. This is fine. So one thing that is interesting with this is this tag, or this isn't a tag, but this container needs to already exist in our registry, which means it's not going to create it if it doesn't exist. We need to find a way to do that. So one takeaway from this is we need to create a image if it's a new application. So like on a new deployment, a new application deployment, we got to create a container image in the registry. We should be able to do that with the Docker CLI. So I'm not too worried. It's just something we'll have to make sure we do. I guess there isn't a huge market for really difficult games for kids. Yeah, they get really frustrated with not really difficult games. I always just tell them to suck it up and get good. That never really seems to help them. But, you know, I think it's a different era, honestly, because games when I grew up kind of sucked. And so they were difficult by nature because like the controls weren't nearly as well. I have 2 buttons and I gotta sneak Solid Snake around with 2 buttons. And, you know, like it was just difficult by nature. And I think kids actually find it more enjoyable to not have that added difficulty. And so they actually don't gravitate towards those games as much. Because, you know, they like to explore the world and do things like that. So, Monta, I have an 8-year-old daughter who would be having nightmares constantly if I played Dark Souls with her. But then back then was when developers were just making games for themselves rather than trying to make games to the market. Yeah. That's another interesting... It's almost like the open source issue. It's almost like... To me, there's 2 forms of open source. There are a group of people who have an interesting problem. So like my dad's a huge ham radio person and he's part of some open source projects that do radio stuff. And their goal is that they want it themselves and they need it. And so they write some of the code for it. And then you have the like the weirder open source. Actually, there's 3 open sources. So that's one that, you know, that's where the GIMP came from. That's where, you know, a lot of these things, probably even a lot of the Linux stuff came from. Then you have what I consider like the weird, which is like the commercial open source. Which is a little weird to me. And then the third is large companies that open source stuff they don't plan on making money, which is less weird to me. So like you have Microsoft that open sources VS Code and C#. Their goal is not to sell C#. It is to get developers using it and using .NET, .NET Core, all of that open source stuff to write applications that then, you know, use their cloud or their OS or things like that. So that's like the third level is like the corporate open source, but it's not commercial open source. It's meant to just be freely available for people. And then there's the commercial open source. That's the weird one where you make a project to make money from it as open source. That's the one that I struggle with the most. So, Russell, I think that's because I don't know, like it's hard to make money making a game. And I mean, obviously you have some that kick the norm. Um but I think part of that like grinding is just trying to make as much content as possible in a game, because I feel like we have this unrealistic expectation that if a game is only 10 hours long, why did we play it? Like I actually like little games. So I don't know. See that Microsoft released C Sharp Dev Kit for VS Code, but you need to sign in. What is the C Sharp Dev Kit? That's the question I have. What is the C Sharp Dev Kit? What is this mythical thing? Like, what does it do for me that doesn't happen in VS Code naturally for C Sharp? Like, what is it bringing to the table? And what is the license? Oh, it's the official LSP and debugger? That's gross. Did they release it as open source, or are you saying they released it as like some weird not open source thing but everybody can freely get to? That seems gross, but there's a Samsung C Sharp debugger. Are you serious? I don't know C Sharp, so I'm sorry. That just seems a little gross to me. All right, but it's not open source. The C Sharp debugger is not open source. Oh. Well, joke's on them. I don't write C Sharp. Do they actually sell Visual Studio anymore? I thought that it was more of like a subscription that got you their DevOps stuff anyhow. I thought they kind of were giving away Visual Studio with all their other stuff. Joke's on me. Right, go. Touche. I have no comeback to that one. So, Monta, there's also this Mono. I don't know if Unity used to use Mono, which was like an open source version of C Sharp. Yeah. I think they switched to the Roslyn C Sharp though, and then to Dying. I could probably write C Sharp if I had to. It's very close to C++, so I feel like I could probably stumble through it as long as I had an LSP. I probably could stumble through it. So Samsung does have a debugger. So there is a debugger if as long as you don't care that it's Samsung's. I was gonna say, like, I have seen C#. I have written some really long time ago, but like I never wrote very much of it. But I never was worried about actually writing C#. It always looked pretty simple. We need a service account, a cluster store. What is create a cluster store configure? Store resource is a repository of build packs, package, and build packages that can be used by kpack to build OCI image. Yeah. Okay. Cluster store. Russell, that's like half of any language. I feel like that's like most of any language. It's not learning the language, it's learning the ecosystem. That takes time. Okay, yeah, we can all agree that Go generics was a mistake. A builder is a kpack configuration for a builder image. So we have a builder and an image. It includes the stack and build packs needed to build an OCI image for your app source. The builder configuration will write to a registry with the secret configured in step 1 and will reference the stack and store created in step 3 and 4. The builder order will determine the order in which build packs are used in the builder. I don't fully understand this. With a valid image tag that exists in the registry you configured in the Docker server flag when creating a secret in step 1. That tag should something be like your builder or I don't have a builder. I guess I need to just reference their builder. They should have a builder image. Let's see. This is a builder. All right, next we're posing as a generic marker. I have no idea why they went with square brackets. I actually really like Go. You know, like I think with some minor changes, Go could become really good. All right? So add a match like Rust match, add union types like Rust union types, and then maybe a few other little nitpicky things. And add like real generics that are like everybody else that does generics ever. And I think that you would have the argument that you just have the easier Rust that has a pretty good garbage collector that you can just leverage and run with. Like, I've actually toyed with the idea, what if you built a garbage collected Rust? Like, took Rust and said, okay, anytime that there's a lifetime that needs to happen, anytime a lifetime is used, we'll GC it. And so you just build a Rust compiler that GCs stuff, just like Go does. I think that would make Rust really simple. And then you'd have a simple Rust, not as performant. Garbage collector will never be as performant, but they're pretty good nowadays. I think that would be a pretty awesome language. Because, like, so there's this problem in Rust where you have this function that doesn't have a lifetime, and you just copy the stuff into it. And then you decide you don't want to copy, and that's actually can be a really big change, as like it propagates out that lifetime exists, and you have to propagate it out with everything that used it, because now everything is required to have a lifetime, and that can really suck for threading as well as just in general with that lifetime, and it can be a lot of work to do. And a garbage collector could make that really simple. I'm not opposed to it. It's not the blazingly fast. It's pretty fast though. It would still be it can still be very fast. All right, I think I have to go create this. Oh, I actually need to go and copy and paste all the stuff in. I actually made these, but didn't actually add anything to them. Let's do that. I'm just going to go. This one was the builder. Which one was the builder? Here's the builder. I got the builder. I'm like super bummed that I have to like switch off what I was doing. You guys have no idea. I was so close to having everything working. I was so close to everything working. Oh, so close and yet so far away. I mean, so Russell, you say that, but like literally if kpack had let me run twice, like let it actually build something twice, we were there. It was working. It would work for the first build. You just then have to restart the service. Oh, blame the narrator. I see. Blame the narrator. I need to get a tag for this. It's Morgan Freeman's fault. Okay, we'll blame Morgan Freeman. That's acceptable. It's acceptable. I'll have to cone of silence you guys for this. But yeah, I'm bummed because it's like one of those so close but so far away. Like everything worked, but it didn't actually work. Like it did work. It just was. You had to restart the whole system once you did one build. Oh my gosh. So frustrating. Actually, I didn't even check this. Last week I've been super busy. I didn't even check to see if I got follow up on that. It doesn't seem like we've gotten any follow up on that, which is kind of dumb. Kind of dumb. So what I don't understand is what this is. A builder is the kpack configuration for a builder image that includes the stack and build packs needed to build an OCI image from your app from source code. So that's like these. These are the build packs for Java and Node.js. Fine. Actually, for mine, I need not these. I need Go, right? I don't need 2 either. It does cross my mind that I need to get better at this streaming thing. Like, I should have had these files done and just been writing code. Nobody wants to see this, I don't think. I should have... I don't know. I need to work on my streaming because I think I should be more intentional. Next week, next Saturday, we're finishing the database indexing video, or we're finishing the work for it, the database part. So I'm ready to do that. Yeah, next week we'll do the database. A builder is an image that contains all the components necessary to execute a build. A builder image is created by taking a build image, adding a lifecycle, build packs, and files that configure it. Right. So this is the... This is a build. Like, I don't understand. These are the build images. Right? The builder configuration will write to the registry with the secret configured in step 1 and will reference the stack. I'm going to have to do a little more reading on this. I don't know that I understand what this actually is at all. I don't know. I do understand this, but that's what these are, right? These are build images. So this is the cluster stack base. We have build images, build image, run image. So that's the stack for that. Create a builder configuration. One sec. Let me search for this really quickly. I think I might understand. I think I think it's wanting this. So this is the builder. This is the build pack. And I think maybe it's wanting this right here. Right? But that's what I keep thinking. That's what they would want here, but that seems to be what we have here, right? So like that's what I did down here. I put this to go. So what is this tag? And they misuse the word tag. So I think they're actually wanting a builder in the kpack configuration for a build image that includes the stack and build packs. Okay, so the stack. Okay, this is the stack, which is this right here, name base. Okay, this is the stack. This is the store. This is you know where it's going, the cluster store. This is the order. I'm not sure I understand. I guess it's saying the order of which ones to try. So basically, it's going to try a bunch of different ones until it gets one that works, which is fine. Okay. The builder configuration will write to the registry with the secret configured in step 1 and will reference the stack and store created in step 4 and 3. The build order will determine which. What's this tag? What's this Docker image tag though? Replace Docker with a valid image tag that exists in the registry you configured with Docker server flag when creating a secret in step 1. The tag should be something like this. Oh, is it just going to create a builder for me? Maybe it's creating this builder for me. I think maybe it's taking the... Okay. I think I understand now. It's taking my stack. It's taking my build image, my run image. It's taking my whatnot. And when we start this, when we apply this, it's going to actually create a new thing called this. Okay. I think I understand. We're going to do null channel / Eddington / builder. I could possibly not understand, but I think I understand. Okay, so we have an ad break coming up in 1 minute. I'm going to take that ad break to go get myself something to drink. I am going to probably be gone for a little bit longer than the ad break, but I'll be right back after that. Okay. And yeah, I actually have to go into Cone of Silence because I gotta log in and get the secret, and then I think we're all ready to like actually run this. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I am going to get going. I'm going to take a short break. You know what we'll do? We'll bust out the Python. We'll bust out the Python. If I remember, why do I have such a hard time remembering? It's not in the animation. The animation directory is a trap. The animation is a trap. Is it a trap? Or am I just thinking it's a trap? No, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's stream animations. It's stream anima- Oh my gosh. All right, I'll be right back, everyone. We got to make this better. That word exists was there again. You're right that word exists was there, but I don't think... Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. When you said, is a valid image tag that exists in the registry. Let me show you what I think it means. Now, I got a cone of silence. 1 second. Cone of silence, you'll be okay. I'll show you what it means, or what I think it means. It doesn't say that there's an image there. It says that it exists. So make an app in Godot for the Be Right Back. So what I was thinking about the Be Right Back was that I was actually going to use Anathema from Togglebit and do a TUI. Since we're already in Rust and we have everything in Rust there, that's what I was going to do. But I would love to actually do a little Godot project. I think a Godot project would be fun. All right. So in here, this is this doesn't exist. So this null channel Eddington builder doesn't exist. So we need to create a repository. So basically, it's not going to create a repository for us. At least that's what I was reading here, with a valid image tag that exists in the repository you configured. It doesn't say that it's a valid image, that there's actually something there, just that it exists here. It's not going to create the repository for you. So, you know, we'll do null channel repository name as what we did over here. Did I not copy and paste this? Null channel Eddington builder. Okay. Null channel Eddington builder. Okay, we'll do dash. There we go. Our builder. So now it exists. That's my understanding. Now I could be wrong and you could be right. So we'll see. We'll see. If my understanding is it's going to push a builder image there based off of everything, based off of all of this. This stack, this store, this order. But I very well could be wrong. All right. That's done. Let's see. What are we doing? Okay. I think we're ready to just start applying stuff, right? The last thing we need to do is update this, though, because we have demo project for the null cloud, and we need to do that. Let's see. Let's open up. I would actually like to make a I actually used to make some games. I would like to make a game at some point. Maybe try Godot out. I haven't used Godot for a long time. Or I haven't made a game for a long time. I used Unreal Engine last time I made a game. Godot seems fun. I don't know the Godot script, the GD script. It looks like Python. The last time I saw it, I looked at it and I was like, oh, that looks like Python. I actually don't know Python well enough to tell you the difference between it, but I do know that it's not Python, just from what I've read. So there's 20 ways to concatenate strings, all of them wrong. Whichever one you pick, it will not be the right one. That is all I know. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I will tell you what I told you. Then I responded to you to both things. First, for the word exists, I agree with you, but I think that it's a little different. Um, so let me tell you what I think it means. That being said, so for the word exists here, for this here, it says with a valid image, which it's not a tag, but anyways, that exists in the registry you configured. What I believe it means by that is I just made this. It didn't exist in the repository. So, you know, here we have a repository, the null channel. Let's see, repositories. So basically, this Eddington builder didn't exist before that. There's no image here. There's no image here, but it didn't exist before I created it. So I think what they're saying here, is that this needs to exist because it's going to push the builder configuration will write to the registry with the secret configure in the stack and store created in the step 1 and 4. So I think it's going to create like an image or something here at this. I think because it doesn't say that it needs like a valid image builder. And if you like click on the image builder here, it just tells you that this is like a stack. And the stack is what we're building here. So I think this is going to push it because this is the stack that we're defining. Yeah, but that's what I'm going to try. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm explaining to you. Is that they use tag very loosely here. I would be careful. I'm actually a little disappointed with them because I would expect kpack being a Kubernetes native, container native thing, building containers to not, I'm going to say abuse the word tag here. It makes it, this is a registry. This is a container registry you're pointing to. You know, in the Docker world, that's, you know, this is or a repository, not a registry. Docker Hub is a repository. But this is, you know, there is a word for this. You know, this is a repository in a registry, not a tag. Science. The other thing that I was going to say is for my Be Right Back screen, you said to do it in Godot. I want to build a small, fun 2D game in Godot at some point, not anytime soon. I have way too much on my plate. But I don't want it to be my Be Right Back screen because I was integrating Twitch chat with Rust and my whole Twitch chat system there. And I was going to use Anathema from Togglebit to build a TUI that Twitch chat could play games while I was gone. That was the idea. That was the idea. I think we were going to have like Twitch plays Wordle first and then do some other ones. I need to know what is acceptable here. This is the URL, but I need to actually build like Go, like a directory. Actually, we can do everything but this. Let's do everything but this. Let's do that. Because we're already good. So let's install kpack. And then oh, okay. I have to go download this. Oh, just the YAML file. All right. Okay. Let's CP that over. And we'll name that. Yeah, let's just put that here as kpack. We're on our kind cluster, k apply dash f kpack. I don't play Wordle because I have PTSD from Wordle. I have WPTSD. Wordle. Yeah, that's right. WPTSD. It's rough. Okay, so we have kpack installed. But yeah, so I wanted to do that for my thing, but I do like the idea of doing something in Godot at some point. You know what I want to do? I want to build a stupid time-killing game. That's what I want to do, because right now, all Android stupid free time-killing games, just games that are simple, that are meant to not be anything but just a time. I'm sitting in the airport and I want to do something because I'm bored. All of those games have a bajillion ads and aren't even fun. Like, they're not even remotely fun, and they're painful. And so my goal is to make a stupid, maybe not even fun, 0 ads and free. That's the goal. We'll make no money off of it. I actually already have the game. I already have the game. So my first game was Avoidy, where you had to avoid things, and it was frustrating. It was stupid, and it was frustrating, but it was kind of fun because it was kind of challenging. This next game is laggy, because get this. You are an intern at NASA, and you have a space probe. And the further you get into space, the more input lag that you get. And you're like trying to harvest research out there. And each time you build a new probe, you can use your research points to upgrade it so that, like, to combat the lag, basically. That's the idea. But, like, it's based off of input lag, which is every gamer's worst nightmare. It's the worst input lag, but that's the whole point of the game, is input lag. Go have fun, explore the universe. All right, I'm going to start applying these things. Do I need to do them in order? I'm going to do them in order. Oh, I got a cone of silence you. It would be very much on the controls and timing, like making it just frustrating enough, but not too frustrating, like making it feasible to actually play, and not just frustrating. But the whole point is to, like, play on it being kind of frustrating. Like, you play it because it's kind of frustrating. Like, that's the idea. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Namespace default Docker server. I think that is fine. All right, cone of silence. Cone of silence. I know you guys were waiting for me. You guys were waiting for me. I didn't leak it this time. this time. Oh, wait. As long as it's repeatable, I could say, wait. Oh, I was going to procedurally generate it. Like each flight was going to be unique. But I suppose you could just build the world and have them explore it, like make it an actual. I was making it like one of those endless ones. Obviously, there was going to be checkpoints like Pluto and other galaxies that you could reach, but those galaxies would be like procedurally generated, but like have a theme and like different things in them. All right. I mean, I think that's partially true that there would be some form of luck. So I don't know. I have to play around with the idea. On a bigger screen, like on a computer screen, this would be easy enough. Once I am just validating that I don't have this dangling around anywhere. I think we're good. I think it would be very easy, but on a phone screen where you have very little time to react because there's so little space, I think that it could be very difficult. So you're right. Maybe it can't be procedurally generated. Maybe you're right. I don't know. It was an idea that I was playing around with. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a idea I was playing around with. I don't know if it would work or not. It just seemed kind of fun and unique, but not too daunting to actually make. So we need to apply the service account. So, and for me, auto generated was making it feasible. Like if I have to make a if I have to make a whole world, that's a lot of making, but auto generating it makes it a little bit easier to make a game that could be replayable. But it would have to be a lot of work in like tweaking the my idea was that like there would become a point where you got far enough away where it's just luck whether you hit something or not, because the amount of input lag has grown so far past the available screen real estate to avoid. That would be the idea. That you can't progress past a certain amount without upgrading your ship to handle those types of things. But I don't know. So it hasn't pushed anything here. I created all the things. Yeah, I actually do want to build it. And maybe I'll do it in I was gonna do it in Unreal Engine, but maybe I'll do it in Godot. I have some assets for it already as well. I am fantastic at 2D art. Let me tell you, stick figures all day long. Oh, that's a webhook. I don't know what I copied. Let's do this one. This one right here. I want the controller. This does exist. Wait a second. Oh, that's in the kpack. Oh, okay. I'm such a dumb. Could not find build pack with ID. Oh. Did I screw that up? Doesn't look like you have the image created. No, I don't have an image created. It can't find this. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, 1 second. I think it's in the cluster store where I should have gone like this. That should have been like that. And then which one of these? Let's see. Cluster this one, the group. What is the group? 1 second. I think I screwed this builder up. What is the group? The group. Order group. The builder is the kpack configuration for the builder image, includes the stack and the build packs needed to build an OCI image from your app and source. Build computer. Maybe now that I have the cluster store fix, this will work. All right, so let me apply the cluster store. Now, did that make a... Did it? Come on. No. It didn't. All right. What am I missing? I would not recommend because you keep asking me. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Could not find build pack. This. Is this old or new? Is this old or new? That's the question. Is that old? That looks like the original. See, like that looks like the original. And it now looks not like that looks like the original controller, and it now looks like it succeeded. All right. But you know what we should do? The cluster store was depended on by the builder, right? This is what. So let's delete the builder. Delete builder -f builder. Apply -f builder. And let's have it reconcile on this again. So everything seems to be working now, but we don't have an image here. We do have an image here. It did work. All right. I feel accomplished, even though I have done very little, except delete code. Delete code we have worked very hard to write the first time. All right, so now we should be able to create this kpack image. Now, we have a few things to do here. I need to give it like a path. I don't know that I can do this. Path of go. Right? We need to do something like this. I don't know that that's valid. So we really need to look at the kind of image. So how I generally do this for people that are trying to adopt somebody else's custom resource is generally they have an API that you can go and look at. So let's go find not the open API spec, probably under package. It depends on what they used to build this, on where it gets put, but are we on V1 alpha? Are we? No, we're on V1 alpha 2. And we're doing image. Oh boy. We're going to go with this one. We're guessing. All right, so this is image. Nice. Where's this thing? I want this type. Type image struct, image types. Nice. Found it. All right, so we have the image spec here. Where are we in this spec? We have the source. We want to see what type of sources we have. So source is this thing here. Source config right here. Nice. Okay. So we have git, blob, registry, subpath. Ooh. So is subpath not part of the git? That's what it's looking right here. It's looking like we do subpath like this. That's what it's looking like. Not entirely sure just yet. So that's just a string. Let's look at git, see if there's anything in the git. All right. It's type URL revision. So it's not in git. That's fine. I think revision can be a branch. I think Nighthound said that was true. So I'm gonna trust Nighthound on that one. He's usually right. So we're gonna do subpath and we're gonna see if that works. All right. Let's apply this. Let's see if this works. Oh, wait. The one thing we have to do is we have to make this. This has to be a thing that exists because we don't have a system to create this yet. Customers test container. So let's make this a actual container. Over here, let's see. Create repository. We're going to make this a little bit easier to type. We're just going to say Eddington test container build. That way, later on, I know what it is. Eddington container test build. That's what I typed over here, right? Container test build. Yeah. Okay, cool. You know what we need to do? What we need to do is figure out where we're going to have our private container registry. So basically, while initially I'll only build public code, I don't want to make those containers public. I do want to make them private. So we got to figure that out somewhere. I'm just not quite sure where yet. And that was kpack image. Are we ready? Are we ready? Cannot unmarshal array into ghost struct field. Let's see. It's a map of string of strings. Right. Did I screw that up? Oh. It's not a list. Okay, so we need a git revision. Let's see. Let's just do main. Let's see if we can just type main in there and that's acceptable. So we're just using branch. All right. Let's see. Refresh. It's going to take it a little while to build. What we can do is check the logs on that. Let's see. I think it is kpack controller. Kpack controller. So no error messages yet. No error messages. And really, it should be spinning something up, I think. I don't think the controller does it. It uses the builder image. But I don't see it. I don't see any... I don't see it doing anything. It will take a little while to make this image. Because it would have to pull the code and everything. Let's see. Reconcile succeeded. There's no error logs here. And this is on the images. Did I screw something up? Namespace. I threw some labels on it. One second. Their tutorial has something on checking the status, right? Maybe this has some information on it. Oh no. Oh no. Build tutorial image build 1 in namespace default failed. Pod tutorial image build 1 build pod is invalid. Invalid value go must be a relative okay. I should have known better than that. Sorry. There we go. Let's apply that. There we're going. Now we're cooking on all cylinders. Now we're going. Now I would expect to see some sort... Oh, there we go. We get a builder pod. I told you that's what should happen. It should create a container with 6 init containers. Holy crap. Let's watch this in K9S. Oh, gosh. So this is actually a really cool view into what's happening with Packer, or Packer, not Packer, build packs. And because it's actually pulling out all of that functionality into layers into different containers, which is actually pretty cool. I guess there's not a whole lot to see here. We could just do logs on all of this. This is logs from all the containers, though, so do be careful on that. I do believe... I don't know if these are colored by container or not in K9S. Is this colored by container or by the output? Oh, it said it's done. It's actually a really stupid, simple container. So... Oh, logs, failed container, completion in pod, blah, 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 is waiting to start. It's failing to stream the logs. I was not reading these. It says build successful amongst the errors. Eddington test container build. Eddington container test build. It doesn't have a place to put it. Actually, I want to see, does it... I don't think it builds the registry. It does. That's actually beautiful and fantastic because I didn't want to have to create a registry for each one. It actually made... Oh, this is good. This is fantastic. Nice job, kpack team. Nice job. Okay. It should be, because this is like a one... It should be really fast because it has almost no dependencies, the Go project that it's building. It's one page with literally just an HTTP ping request. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So now we can see this. We built it off the main branch. We can see it's ready is true. We can see that the SHA is the tag. And what we can do is we should also see some labels. So we should be able to query this by label to check on its status. which I guess is basically what we need to do. This is where we can pull the image, this last image. So we just need to pull last image from status. So the interesting thing here is last image should be updated anytime we make a new commit to this. Actually, let's see if it's watching. Let's see if it's watching like this. Do we have that down, the examples? Let's just, now is it going to build again? So the thing is that we're going to have to be is if it's in the middle of building, we don't want to return this. So like when we query for the status, we don't want to return. Maybe we do return this. We always return last image in the status request, but we also return whether it's building or not. I don't know if it watches the get. I feel like you can define it to watch the get, but I don't know how often it checks for a history. Wait. It went up to tutorial image build 3. This is still generation 2. Right? Yeah, but it was on tutorial image build 2, so it is doing something. Latest build reason is commit. Can we tell that it's not? Can we tell build counter is up to 3 now instead of the original 2? Latest build. Okay, so this is how we tell. Build counter is up 1, but latest build image generation is still 2. So it's building. There's a build that's out there, but it's not done yet. That's how we can tell. Cool. We can make this work. We can make this work. Okay, I ran that a few too many times. The latest build reason was config, not commit, so that is updating properly. Nice. Awesome. Now, this does throw a wrench into my plans here because I had labeled this with a revision. And the thing is, if this is always keeping it up to date, these labels are wrong now because we've updated the short SHA, the 7-digit short SHA. So how do we marry their version and the image that was built? So when I go to ask, hey, what's the status of this build? What do I query with? What am I asking with? What information? I was going to say we'd use the short SHA. Maybe we can still. It could be an annotation. This is the last applied configuration. That's not. Those aren't useful. I mean, so in theory, we're always going to know what it is. It's going to be this plus the SHA. Right? It's always going to be this. And we can run Docker pull on this. So let's think about this. Did it not? Build counter went to 3. This went to 3. But the latest build image has never gone past 2. Interesting. 48F. 48F. Yeah, it did update this. The latest build image generation just doesn't seem to increment. So it's build counter. Build counter and latest build ref are the things that we can. This bumps up before this. That's interesting. That seems like this shouldn't be that way. And I don't like this because I have to parse this now, which I don't want to. I didn't want to parse it. Huh. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. Let's do this again. We'll give it a second. I'm just giving my mind a second to think about this, honestly. Oh. So this is up to 4. And the build counter is up to 4, which means it's already built. And this is. But the latest build image generation does not change. Observed generation does not change. So the only way I can tell if it's building but hasn't built yet is the build counter will be down and the latest build ref will be up, but I have to parse this. That sucks. That is not what I had wanted. There's nothing else to designate that we're working on it. All right, so this is where an event-based system is pretty nice. Where you could raise an event when a new image was created. But this isn't even our system, so I don't even know how we would raise an event. This is the operator working. Now, okay, so I don't love this. But we could create an operator that listens for these things to be happening. We'll use the Kubernetes API to listen for updates to this, to the status of this, and emits an event. Is that what other people do? I actually have never done this. What do people do for this? Where you want to do something when an operator does something. Is that a crime against operators? The thing is, I want to know when this happens. Now, I can listen to the Kubernetes API for updates to this struct to this. Is that wrong? It's only updating the status too, which could pose problems. Right? None of this other stuff is changing. No, we just listen to status changes. When you listen to status changes, though, you cannot also change the thing. Because what happens is changing the thing will change the status, and you'll get into an infinite loop. I did that once. Okay. I have to think about how we want to progress with this. Because if this thing is watching, always watching, how do we tie that back into our system? Do you guys want to write an operator in Rust? We could do this little operator in Rust, maybe. And then it could just call the monolith when it could just have a new gRPC endpoint in the monolith that it calls to. Let's do that. Next week, we're going to do the database indexing, the second part. So the first part, we've done the first part. The second part is where, so next Saturday, we're going to start out with doing compaction. We don't rebuild the indexes on compaction. So we're going to do that, which is, you don't have to rebuild the index. You just have to build an index for the new compacted file. That's all. And you need to clean up the indexes. And then after that, we're going to build a Rust operator because I think that will be fun. I've actually wanted to, so that will be fun. And we'll just emit events to the monolith API server. That sounds good. That sounds like something fun and interesting to do. It will be a rusty day, but we'll actually get some Eddington work done, which sounds nice. The last thing that, let's see, what time is it? Oh, I need to get going, but maybe we can slide this in today. One thing that we're having is this Twitch alerts. We have this deployment as a stateful set. And the problem is our stateful set, the node that runs our stateful set has a tendency of dying. And I'm not sure why. It has a tendency of dying. Now, maybe it's something we're doing on it. I actually kind of thought maybe we were filling it up with logs, but it doesn't appear to be that. But what we can do is we can basically change that deployment. Let's see, to not a stateful set. I have looked into the system logs. Yes, I journal CTL a little. I didn't actually. The weird thing was there wasn't something that looked like it happened. It seemed like it just shut down naturally from the little bit of time. Now the problem was the times that I did it, I only had a few minutes before it shut down again, so I didn't have a ton of time. And like I said, what I want to do is I want to pull it out on my desk so it sits here and runs, because then I can restart it if I need to, because it's also not restarting. But it doesn't talk about like a memory error or anything like that. That's kind of a classic hardware failure that I saw. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out on my desk and we're going to debug it, you know, in an easier configuration, because right now I can't get to it. Cat problems, literally cat problems. So what I want to do is I want to make that a stream. I'll probably do that during the week. I think during the week, I'm not going to stream consistently on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's been wearing. I work a full-time job as well. So I think I'm going to do it randomly. I'm going to try to stream in the morning sometimes too, because I actually can. I get up before I have to work. So I'm going to try to stream a little bit more randomly and see how that works. It kind of sucks because then it's not consistent when you guys can find me during the week, but we'll see how it works out. Because it's hard for me to consistently have time throughout the week. So anyways, I'll actually be able to stream more if I do it randomly, I guess, is the idea. Would people like me to post it in Discord? Oh, Nexus Null Dev. Thank you for the raid. And you know what? Our alerts are down. I know that. I'm pretty sure I told you this last time, because you just did not get a message about your raid because my alerts are down. We were just talking about how to fix them. Call you Nexus. How are you guys doing? What were you guys working on? Writing a simple chat app in Rust? Oh, cool. I actually am not doing that this week. Next week is Rust. This week was Go. And kind of Kubernetes. I actually just deleted a bunch of Go code mostly today. Yeah, that's how we roll here. I just delete stuff. I wrote a bunch of bad Go code, it turns out. And so we had to delete it. No Go code is good code. So next week is all Rust, though. Next Saturday is going to be all Rust. What do you dislike about Go? So Nexus, don't get me wrong, I dislike Go for some reasons, but I like different perspectives on it, especially if you've written. So one thing that I find is like there's sometimes when people dislike a language because they've only experienced a little bit of it, and a lot of times languages are more in depth, and they have some better things to offer. But yeah, what is it that you dislike? This is going to end poorly here, what we're going to do here, though. Go is very restrictive in what you can do. If you're talking about threading, it is. Uh, 2 years ago, I would have been on the same boat. It's less restrictive now, but it's still somewhat restrictive, yeah. Does this work if I just change it to a deployment? Go routines actually have a lot of their own limitations, though. That's the only threading model that you have. So if you wanted to do something, so like Go routines would be like Tokyo, and in that case, it's fairly good. But if you wanted to do something more like I can't think of the other one where you're actually doing heavy workload, not IO bounded. Go routines fall flat. Go routines are not for heavy computation. They're for IO bounded. They're the green threads. Well, so this was just, I'm also about to end my stream, but basically the reason why my Twitch alerts are down is because this server is down. And the reason it doesn't start on another server is because it is a stateful set, but there was no real reason for it to be a stateful set other than that's like the canonical way of doing something that has state. But I don't know if this will work, what I just did. This might actually work. I just changed it to a deployment nexus. I just changed it from a stateful set to a deployment. So this was a stateful set, but I'm not sure everything. I don't know off the top of my head the differences between them. I think maybe it will be fine. I don't think the persistent you can do a Can you do a volume claim template in a deployment? I don't know off the top of my head. I was just going to apply this and see if it died. My data isn't gone because of Lightstream. So this is actually why it doesn't even matter. I did a stateful set, but it doesn't matter because every single time we write to the SquirrelLite database, it synchronizes it with block storage in Linode. And then every single time it starts, it says, is the database there? And if it's not, it pulls it down from Linode. So basically, anytime this pod dies and gets rescheduled, it should go on any machine and it will just pull the database. It will delay the startup time for a little bit, but I mean, like, that's fine. Yeah, our SquirrelLite. You know, we don't want any big squirrels. We don't want anything heavy duty, multi-tenancy, or anything like that. We want light squirrels. Oh, caps lock is fun. Okay, so this is what I was worried about is there is some volume claims templates. Wait, unknown field service name. There is no service name in here. But I just don't think it's going to want this. We're just going to delete this. This is all in Git. This will be fine. You know what I always hate? So I play some RTSs like StarCraft and Age of Empires 4. And sometimes you hit caps lock while in playing it, and then you like type like a really aggressive GG because like you accidentally hit caps lock, and you're like, no, I didn't really mean that. I didn't mean it. Okay. We still. Oh, I forgot to get rid of the service name. Volume mounts are going to just really, we don't care about the volume mounts. We just have to mount some place for the stuff to work, and it should be fine. So here, let's see, in our Twitch alerts. Wait. So here's our volume mounts that we got rid of. We still need to do a volume because this is basically a sidecar, and we'll just need to do like an in-memory one. We just need to do an in-memory. All right, so I don't know how to do that off the top of my head. I don't know. My brain hurts. Do we don't want to do an in-memory database though. Do we? Do we just want to? I don't know what we want to do here. I don't know. I usually do a stateful set if I'm doing store. Oh, this port works. I usually just do a stateful set, but we can just reuse the persistent volume. We have the host path. But see, this is going to still bind us to a single one, right? We would want to use like a storage class. So this is what I'm accustomed to. If you're using it, you'd use a storage class, which would then just bind it. So we need to get like a storage class on our cluster. We don't have one, right? Yeah. So we don't have a storage class. So I'm going to have to... What storage class do people use for bare metal? There's like the static host provisioner, and then there's localhost by Rancher. Maybe we do localhost. Local path provisioner. Maybe it's local path. You know what? We can use like just host path straight, can't we? I guess it doesn't like host path. So this is the problem why you need a storage class is like a lot of the times it's like they're only statically created, but I don't want to statically create it. I want to... I'm gonna have to. I am going to have to think about this. Lightstream protects the data. Yes, I do believe that that should be fine. What about an empty dir? Is that the right answer here? Is empty dir the right move here? I think it actually is, right? So it's going to be on disk, not in memory, but it's just going to get deleted. Actually, let's just do an empty dir. Let's just switch it to empty dir. I'm going to try this. We're going to see. We're going to see if that works. I need to go to volumes. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh, we need to add it here. I was blanking here. Name. We'll just do this. What? Data. I think that was the name that we originally did. And then yeah, just empty dir and size limit. I have not actually ever used a size limit or an empty dir. What is I think they want like that. We'll see. Maybe I can just do this. We'll see. I forget exactly how they want that. Actually, I think I could just do, can't I just do 5G? Yeah, we're on 5G here. Okay, so maybe this will work. No. I got rid of the service name. Oh no, I might have accidentally undid it. All right. It liked it. Is it gonna work? I don't know about that. You know what I should do? I should delete the stateful set. Pause. We're in error state here. Hey, this is improvement. It's actually running something. This is okay. Our token's done. It never re-gets a new token. We have run into this. Okay, well, this is good. It's running, and it looks like stream did just fine, which means it pulled the database. No generation. It exists, so it it should be pulling the database. Yeah, Lightstream is actually pretty awesome. I have to say, like, Lightstream is pretty awesome. So yeah, awesome. I think they say let's see, what is Lightstream? Not talking about Lightstream loans. Let's see. SQL Lite. This is what we're using. Yeah, continuously stream SquirrelLite changes to S3, Azure Blob Storage, Google Cloud, or quickly recover to a failure of your server goes down. Cool. So that's what we're using. And yeah, it costs $5 a month for the first 250 gigs of AI written text. So, cool beans. All right. I do need to get going. The kids are all here home alone with me. So I need to go do that. We're going to wash the car. It's actually a chilly day, though. Not the best day to go wash the car, but that's what we're going to do. My goodness. I picked a bad day. 60 degrees. Not the warmest. But that's what we're going to do. Let's find somebody to raid. Let's find somebody to raid. Should we find some Rust since I forced you guys into some Go in Kubernetes? We need a palette cleanser. I use the crazy scale that's built for humans, like 0 is cold, 100 is hot. It's a really crazy scale that just like makes sense to like humans. It's yeah, very, very crazy. I can't stand it when things make 0 the bottom and 10 or 100 the top. Those scales just kill me. S- 60 is cold to wash the car in. Yes. Yes. So it's not jacket weather. But getting wet, it's a little bit chilly. Okay, I don't see any good Rust streams. Are we are there no good Rust streams? Here's a backseat compiler in Rust, so we're gonna go to that one. If it was human scale, it would just be freezing cold, mild, or hot and burning. What's up, Nexus? I am actually just looking for somebody to host. Because as much as I appreciate your host, I do have to get going with hang out with my kids and kind of freeze a little bit today. Here's a person making a compiler in Rust. I think we'll raid them. This is the only Rust streamer that I have found, so I'm going to raid them. Sorry, Nexus, that I'm jumping off. I do have to get going though. Got family obligations to take care of, so I will see you guys next week. I'll stream a little bit during the week. We'll see how that goes, and yeah, sorry for cutting out. Have you guys a fantastic week.
So, was sagst du dazu? No field, non-type table, in type, partially resolved, non-type definition. Klaven, danke für den Raid. Wer bist du denn? Was machst du? Warum raidest du mich? Wer bist du? Kenn ich dich? Moin Nexus. Du hast ein Dev im Namen. Das scheint schon mal, dass du hier richtig bist. Moin Rodriguez. Moin moin. Wer ist denn Klaven? Klaven X? Wer ist das? Was machen sie? Wieso habe ich Definition davor geschrieben? Einfach so. Aha. So. Completely resolved overload set, but found. Das ist doch derselbe Datentyp eigentlich. Gerade Kaffee gemacht und vergessen, den neuen Filter auch einzusetzen, anstatt daneben zu legen. Oh. Na wohl bekommst, sag ich mal. Hä? Expected, also erwartet was, wo keine Referenzen drin sind. Ach, ich habe immer noch den, das ist falsch, weil ich will ja jetzt Referenzen drin haben. Das will ich in der alten Darstellung eigentlich auch. Das habe ich nur noch nicht gemacht. Das ist alles noch Copy, das ist nicht gut. Copy muss alles nochmal weg. So, das geht jetzt aber. Was machst du denn da jetzt, Slatibart? Was? Non-exhaustive Pattern. Okay. Ein nicht erschöpfter Pattern. Was haben wir denn jetzt hier? Hier sind wir beim Name Lookup. Genau, das ist jetzt hier einfach nur unsere Debug-Ausgabe. Ich schreibe hier mal hin Global Variable und hier schreibe ich eine